Councillor Cronnelly.
Thank you, Chair. Rumour has it, if you do a speech under 5 minutes, you get 2 votes. So here we go. This application, at its simplest, is a decision between growing our local economy or protecting our environment. After reviewing the planning documents, listening to the arguments and engaging with residents, my opinion is the benefits of expansion do not outweigh the impacts, and I cannot support this application. My concerns are employment. I strongly support growing our local economy and increasing job opportunities, but not at all costs. When you delve into the detail of this application, the suggested employment and economic benefits quickly dilute. Bristol Airport contend that the expansion will directly support an extra 250 jobs in North Somerset. However, their economic impact assessment doesn't contain any detailed work to understand whether our residents in our most deprived areas have the skills to fill these jobs. Further, demographic evidence shows that our current unemployment base doesn't necessarily have the skills required for these jobs. So who's going to fill these roles? Potentially not as many North Somerset residents as hoped. Further, the mitigation through a £300,000 employment support fund doesn't financially go far enough, in my view. The economic advantages are not as great as first thought. Greenbelt. The airport contends that several thousand parking spaces are needed to be built on the Greenbelt. Currently, the 10 million application allows for 15% of passengers that attend Bristol Airport to do so by public transport. As Steve has said right at the start, one of the lowest in the country. And this application will only bring it to 17.5. This isn't ambitious, nor is it transformative enough. We should be pushing for greater increase in the public transport modal share, which will reduce the need for car parking and would mitigate against having to build on the Greenbelt, or as a minimum, allow smaller land to be found outside of the Greenbelt. Noise. Finally, it's unacceptable to allow thousands of extra people to suffer increased noise during the night and day and rely and hope of a quieter aircraft. It's very disappointing to see that the seasonal night flight restrictions have been removed, which will exacerbate the noise issue. The noise mitigation measures, in my view, fall significantly short, as it doesn't provide funding for those homes affected by night noise at all levels. It only does some of them. But when it does, the grant is reduced, making the fatal assumption that only bedrooms are needed at night, failing to take into account those who don't work typical jobs. What are we going to do? Hiding our bedrooms? There are significant gaps in the noise mitigation, and for the reasons I stated before, I cannot support this application.
1871.
Chairman, so the voting was for the motion, i.e. refusal, 18 votes, against the motion, 7 votes, and abstaining, 1. The motion is therefore carried.
Whichever.